Hey guys, Paul again Paul again. That's a blooper moment. Paul again from selfesteemschool.com. Just wanted to share another advice or tip with you with regards to building self-esteem. And my tip in this video is don't live to please other people. Don't live to please other people. Because guess what? You're not gonna be able to do it. You know, no matter how hard you try. People they're not going to be pleased. You know, they'll always have something to say. And if you're constantly living to get validation from other people and you don't get that validation, you know, what tends to happen is that you start to fall into the trap of low self-esteem. Don't live to please others. You know, so many people, they live their whole life just trying to please others, trying to please their parents, trying to please their boss, and trying to please, and you know what, they neglect what truly makes them happy. Because that's what ultimately happens when you're living to please others and what they're requiring of you doesn't match up with your true desires that will bring you fulfillment. Then you'll ultimately be unfulfilled because you care more about making them happy than making you happy. You know, and there might be instances where you have to do that, like in marriage and so on and so forth, you know, learning to love selflessly and please your spouse. But that's not really what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about your core values and the things that you want to do as an individual. You know, you're not always going to be able to please people. And if you're living your whole life trying to please people, trying to get validation from people, and you don't feel valuable until you get that validation, then that's dangerous, because they hold the key to your happiness in their hands by the feedback that they gave you. And if that feedback isn't positive and you don't feel like you're pleasing them, then you're not going to feel good. You know, and you want to be the author of how you feel. You want to be the person in charge of your joy, of your happiness, of your peace. You know, and the only way you're going to remain in control of that is by living to fulfill the core values within you. Living to do the things that are your desires, not just living to please other people. Living to please other people will ultimately get you to a place of depression, get you to the place where you don't feel great about yourself. Because truth be told, no matter how hard you try, sometimes people just don't seem to be impressed, you know. And that's okay, you know, because when you realize that your significance isn't tied to what people say or the praises that they sing, because people are funny. One minute they're singing your praise, the next minute, you know, they're talking about you in a negative way. So sometimes it's just a waste of time trying to please people. But when you learn and you go on that path of living your core values, living to establish what is true to you, that's where your happiness is going to come from. That's where your joy, you know, is going to come from. And, you know, that's why you see that there's successful people. They might have accomplished so much, but deep down, they don't feel like they're worth anything, because they've done all of that and acquired all that just to be impressive to people. You know, just to please other people, so that people will say nice things about them. They pursued careers to make their parents happy. They made decisions just to make other people happy. But then they weren't truly happy because it wasn't what they really wanted. They were just doing it to please others. And if you really want to be happy, if you want to have peace, if you want to have fulfillment in your life, it's not about pleasing other people. It's about staying true to who you are. You know, and if people are not impressed, well, that's their business. But as long as you know that you're being true to you, that's what counts. That's where your fulfillment is going to come from. That's where your self-esteem and empowerment is going to come from, knowing that you're staying true to you. And it's a liberating experience when your life is not controlled by the opinions of other people. It's one of the most liberating things in the world. I can't tell you how free you will be when you strip yourself of people's opinion, where their opinion about you and the decisions you make doesn't affect you. That's when you know you're free. You're not truly free until you're free of people's opinion. And when you're living to please other people, it shows that you're still someone who cares too much about people's opinion. And when you care too much about what other people think, ultimately you will never be happy, because you'll always be doing things to impress others instead of doing it because it fulfills you. So, you know, that's my advice, you know. And I just want you to ask this question: in what ways have I been living to please other people? Be sincere with yourself and ask yourself, in what ways have I been living to please other people? And how am I going to change that from now on, so that I'm living, you know, my core values, so that I'm living the things that I desire, that make me happy and that bring me joy and peace. Think about those things just for a few minutes. God bless you and thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.